Blessings are on the head of the righteous, but violence covers the mouth of the wicked. The memory of the righteous is blessed, but the name of the wicked will rot. My name's Arthur. Thank you for joining me as we meditate this morning in Proverbs chapter 10, verses 6 and 7. These wise words of Solomon, encouraging us to be among the righteous and realizing that wickedness has no benefit, although it seems convenient at the time. Blessings are on the head of the righteous, but violence covers the mouth of the wicked. The memory of the righteous is blessed, but the name of the wicked will rot. The structure of these couplets is such that we can make direct comparisons. So we have blessing versus violence, we have head versus mouth, we have the righteous versus the wicked in verse 6. Blessings on the head of the righteous. If a person is to be honoured, they'll be honoured with a crown. Their head will be lifted up. Their name will be promoted. That kind of blessing, we're told, comes upon the righteous. Well, we need to think about who the righteous are, and essentially the righteous are those who walk in God's ways. By comparison, the wicked follow the wicked one, that is Satan. So we have the two brothers, Cain and Abel. Why did Cain kill Abel? Because Abel was righteous, but Cain was wicked. Abel sought to worship God and to serve God. Cain resisted God. When God created the world, he devised principles by which men would live by and be blessed in this world. But some men choose to spurn those principles and go a different way. So we have the righteous who follow God's way and the wicked who go their own way. And the instructions concerning that are clearly portrayed in the scriptures and work out in practice, because God has a way of working that brings good things to those who cooperate with him, but he resists those who go against him. The righteous person is characterized by respect for others, respect and love for God. The character of God is mercy and grace and goodness and truthfulness, patience, forgiveness and justice. And these are the characteristics of the righteous. As Jesus affirmed, there is none good but God. That is, God is the only one who always does good and never does evil. The rest of us do evil to one degree or another. But the ultimate definition of what is good is God. Similarly, God is love. God is righteous. God is truth. These are the essential characteristics of God. And the righteous person is one who will share those characteristics. Now, the other side of the coin, though, is violence covers the mouth of the wicked. I'm reminded of the story of Haman. He promoted himself, and he honoured himself, and he glorified himself. He was second in charge of the Persian Empire, having promoted himself to King Ahasuerus by his very great promises. But he was proud, and that pride meant that he was in this position for himself, not for the benefit of the Persian Empire, but for the benefit of himself. Now, when his scheme to destroy the Jewish people was revealed to the king, immediately they covered his head, and they took him out, and he was hung on the gallows he had prepared for Mordecai. So the violence that he planned on others came back on himself. And this is one of the principles of the scriptures. As you do to others, it will be done to you. That if you do good, then good comes to you. If you do evil, evil comes to you. And so violence covers the mouth of the wicked. The person who's chosen the way of wickedness, that is the way of self-aggrandizement, exploiting others for your own advantage, violence and hurt against others, it will come back against you. And it will be done to you. Also, we have covers the mouth, not the head. The mouth is where we eat and where we speak. So covering the mouth stops us speaking. The things that we say are silenced. We are silenced. But it also, covering the mouth, stops us eating. And it is through eating that we find strength and satisfaction. If we cannot eat, then we hunger. We're not satisfied. We end up being frustrated and ultimately die. The judgment of these things, of course, doesn't necessarily occur immediately. Wickedness is a lifestyle, just as righteousness is a lifestyle. But earlier Proverbs have clearly indicated that the person who pursues righteousness will in fact have a longer life, on average, than the person who pursues wickedness. For the Lord lengthens the days of the righteous. Now verse 7 says, the memory of the righteous is blessed, and the name of the wicked will rot. The comparison words again then are memory and name, righteous and wicked, and blessed or rotting. When we think of a person, we mention their name and we have some recollection of the person. If we think of the name Adolf Hitler, then immediately we think of somebody who threw the whole world into great confusion, who caused the death of many millions of people. There will not be very many people who would want to honour that name. But there are other names that we can mention of men who are righteous, and we are thankful that we knew these people. These people have done good, and those people encourage us to do that which is good. And there are many who have done good in their lives and are commemorated for the good that they have done. The memory of the righteous is blessed. And in that context, it's not those who have exalted themselves who are remembered, but those who have served others. And particularly in Australia, many of the accolades that are given to people come about because of their service that they render to others. So a characteristic of the righteous is their desire to serve others, to be a blessing to others, to help others in their need. Now, those who do that find satisfaction in their own lives because blessings are on the head of the righteous. When we give, then we receive. But if we take, we lose. People are not going to be so inclined to give to us. Now, verse 7 also says, the name of the wicked will rot. No doubt you've heard the expression, the good old days. What makes the good old days good? It's because the bad things tend to be forgotten and the good things are remembered. And that's what this proverb is saying. The name of the wicked will rot. In our personal memory, it may take a long time for us to forget some bad things that have happened to us and people that have maliciously hurt us. But in the society's memory, they very quickly forget the wicked. Personally, we're urged to forgive those who sin against us. In this way, we can forget the evil of the past and rejoice in that which is good. Indeed, let the memory of the wicked rot, and rejoice in the name of the righteous. The name of the wicked will rot. There's no point celebrating the life of the wicked. Rather, we celebrate the life of the righteous. But when we think about those who have achieved great things, the many righteous people on the earth, we are encouraged to think of their life. The memory of the righteous is blessed. We're happy to think of the things that people have done which are good. And of course, the ultimate righteous person is the Lord Jesus Christ himself. That is why so many people spend so much time recalling the many good works that the Lord Jesus did. And he inspires others to follow in his footsteps. Indeed, we are to do the things that Jesus did and to follow his example, not to follow the example of the wicked one, but the example of the righteous one. So blessings are on the head of the righteous, but violence covers the mouth of the wicked. The memory of the righteous is blessed, but the name of the wicked will rot. Choose to follow the Lord Jesus Christ and the way of righteousness, the way of Abel, not the way of Cain and of Satan.